Wait, why does it say they are married? Did I put them to spouse and not engaged? Yeah, I did. I decided to give
Oh,
these two a child. So, this is Zachary, Luna, the son of Kyle and Cecile, and the reason these two are engaged is this little one because they were in a very short relationship. In the San Sequoia Secrets, it apparently tells. Why is he dancing? Kyle crashed in the house for some time, and Eleanor is obviously now in the retirement home, but these two are engaged in a relationship. I don't know. I don't want them to be married, I think. I want to see where is the other lot here. Here it is. Didn't I furnish this one for them? There is some interior in here, so maybe I'm going to move them over here because one of the houses in this area I wanted to have empty as a starter home. It's this ready to move in, floor plan done, and so on, and some landscaping, but everything kept quite simple, so you can personalize this however your Sims like that are moving in here. Maybe I should give them some more money. Wait, where are we? Oh, over here. Okay, let's move over there. It's only 16k, but it looked like it had furnishings in it. What about this one? I think I find this house better for them because you saw the one before, and I don't know if I would like it more if they are living over here, and it's supposed to be the house where she lived before with her mother, I guess. I believe it's her childhood home. I think that's very good because I do have a lot of kind of fun furniture in here. I can change this easily into toddler stuff. We won't need this anymore then. So I can put this in her inventory. It's kind of cute when she still has that. It's in the basement or something. Do we want to continue here now and furnish this home more? Here's some snowy escape decor, and oh, I don't know if they would have this kind of volcano poster. Oh, we have some storage space over here. Maybe we can just put the baby bed in this little storage thing. But I'm very happy that I apparently started furnishing it for some younger parents with a small child. I'm wondering, since we have this little room here and two bedrooms upstairs, so I'm wondering, should we maybe have this room downstairs and be very annoyed about it because you had to make space for the little Zachary when he was born? What's her skills actually? Okay, she's self-assured and a bookworm. I tend to be so cliche with my Sims because I was imagining she can't be rebellious when she's a bookworm, but she can also be both. That's totally possible. So I like to give most of the teens just one of the teen aspirations because I don't really like to start working on the other aspirations when they are a teen. Maybe we will have her be in this live fast aspiration. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, actually, maybe this volcano is. It just gave me an idea because this is Sulani and Kyle is a genius, but he's lazy. So he's maybe just procrastinating a lot, which makes me think I should give him the practice makes perfect trait. And also, he is maybe in university studying some environmental stuff, and he also is he wants to. These clubs have very random names at the moment. Some of them are also the default clubs still that come with the game. But I'm looking for this club I made for Sulani. And save Sulani. The club is full. That's okay. I'm wondering. It takes a long time to load because I have this thing where you can get some extra icons. So the problem is you have to be a conversationist, a lifeguard, a diver, or a scientist to be in this club. So maybe Kyle is still in university. He is forced to, not forced, but I believe Eleanor really wants them all to work at Tiny Critters, and he doesn't really have the time because he's a lifeguard. Wait, why would he be? No, a lifeguard is totally not a good idea. I I forgot he's lazy. Should he still be lazy? I don't know if I he doesn't give me lazy energy. I'm not sure if he should be a lazy sim, to be honest. Just because I believe I find him so he's so outgoing, and this thing that he sleeps maybe it's just because they didn't have a lot of options and just get, I mean, it plays into this picture you get from him, but I don't find it very fitting for him overall. I don't know how to explain myself. I'm wondering what kind of trait would be fun to give him as well. Should he be a lifeguard or not? I'm wondering, because I believe he wants to become some kind of environmentalist. No, he's not going to have the goal to do this for the environmental reasons. I think it's more, maybe it's more about him trying to do some science stuff. I don't know right now what kind of science stuff, but I'm not sure. What if, let's have a look. If maybe he should also instead be a diver? That could also be interesting. I don't see him as this, maybe he's lazy when it comes to tidying up or stuff like that. So maybe I should make him be a slob instead. Maybe that would be more fitting in my eyes. So that he's a diver would be interesting. I think he could also be adventurous since he is doing this couch hopping stuff. Conservationist is also interesting, but maybe that's what he wants to do after he's been studying the subject that he is, which I don't know right now because I don't know which one will lead us to him having the possibility to go after that into the conservationist career. So for now, I think a diver is a good idea. Let's keep the lazy trait. Okay, I decided now I want to keep the lazy trait and have him a slob in addition to that. Oh, actually, the always welcome trait makes a lot of sense with Kyle, since he is kind of sleeping wherever he wants. He could. What is the survival instinct? Let's see what these mean. And I find him to be, he kind of feels like he would like to go camping and stuff like this. So maybe he does have this child aspiration reward, and also he would definitely have a high self-esteem. And what I'm actually looking for is that he likes the outdoors, I believe. Or maybe I should do bro. I think he needs to be a bro, yes, and brave. I think that also matches. That he would, I find him very outdoorsy for some reason. Maybe he would also, ooh, okay, so he wants to become this environmentalist. And what if, because he really likes to explore nature, what if he would have the dream to climb Mount Komorebi? It will be difficult because he is lazy, so maybe that's what's also holding him back, that he is not the most ambitious person, but he is dreaming of it. So I don't think we need to make the aspiration always like it has to match the sim. It can also be their goal, but it's very difficult for them to do this like it is for most people in real life too. So this would mean that he already had this aspiration. That doesn't make sense. Maybe we can give him this one, which just means that he is very experienced in being outside and camping and stuff like that. So he also needs to apply for university then. I'm wondering right now if Zachary should actually be a child by now, or if he is, maybe they had a relationship for some time and now only a few years ago, maybe it was on and off and suddenly Zachary was there. Maybe sometimes I have to leave some stuff with the lore open for now to see how it all goes together in the end. Oh, I wanted to say hello to the neighbor kid. So I just saw that Kamin already has level 1 in snowboarding, and I just thought how we can think how these three, when there was a short period where Sochil and Kyle had also some nice times together, and maybe they went on a trip to Mount Komorebi, and that's where his dream sparked up to climb the mountain. So maybe we can also change this. He really liked the little trip they made, but he didn't see a lot, so he really wants to have another more insightful Mount Komorebi trip again in the future first. So there's a lot more he has to do before he can climb the mountain, but he is already dreaming of it, I guess. I wonder, can we... I wonder if I will give him some goals he can develop. I just tried if I can cheat a goal into there, but I unfortunately can't. But if I will get a PC, I can also use a journal, right? Because I don't have a desk in here, I guess, right now. So let's get a journal. What is Kyle's journal? Maybe he has this very old little journal from high school where he sometimes takes notes in it. I need to check him in for apply for university as well. So can I travel goals? Let's see what we can get. Do I have a bin yet? No. That's unfortunate. Can I put this in the sink? Also not. I should get a bin before this gets super annoying. I feel like Sushil, on the other hand, should be neat. Contrast to Kyle being a slob. I think that's a good idea. Oh, let's see what kind of goal Kyle got. He wants to... Oh, yeah, that's good that you also want to go to Sulani. Maybe he's a real traveler. I think that's a really good idea for his background and his interests. So let's maybe give him an adventure goal. Find the well of longing and regret and receive the mark of Edith. No, I don't think he would like... Oh, I can just complete it and then... Okay. Can I also remove a single once because I don't want to have this life goal, this after death thing go up all the way. Want refresher, but that would refresh all the goals. Okay, maybe I should then... Maybe I need... Okay, I can reset the soul's journey in the end. That's good. So that way I can just create a list of wants for him that I want for him. Haha. Where did you put your journal? I should have just gotten a PC. That would have been much easier. Let's do another travel one before maybe the adventure ones are not as fitting for him. Can he join the Save Sulani club now? Oh, the club is full. I didn't remember this. Can I kick someone out this way? No. Oh, that's annoying. So maybe we can just go over to Cletus Harris. See, that's also a reason why making a save file takes forever. I forgot where Cletus lives. I think, oh yeah, in Copperdale, right? So not right because you would say, no, that's wrong, but oh, because he is now married to Julia Wright from Discover University. So they have two kids, Christopher and Raylan. And Francine Spencer, his mother, is also still living with them. So he and I forgot the name of his wife actually. She's still living in the house in Evergreen Harbor. I guess? No, I moved them out. Okay. Oh, right. I wanted to have them because I made this area modern. And it's actually a little bit sad because I really, really like this area when it's in its older stage. But I really wanted to build these eco houses to make use of the eco lifestyle stuff. So I think it would be easy to have those houses also be in the other state. Maybe I will do this eventually, so there's more progress you can make. Oh, it would be really nice to make older versions of those and then have Cletus and Faye Harris, right, that was her name, their old house be portrayed as well. And also you can play another storyline this way where they are still living there because the development didn't happen and the prices didn't go up, because I want this to reflect how sometimes these eco-friendly ideas are made in a way that the numbers are better to do some lobbying and stuff like that, but instead they build some very fancy eco-friendly stuff and it's too expensive for the average family, and that way people like Faye, who's a divorced mother, is living with her teenage son Gideon now here next to the Tinker family. I still wanted to give them a pet, definitely, but that didn't change a lot apart from Olive being a teenager now. And they are still happily together. And Deb Harris is meanwhile over here in Brightchester in this household that I recently have living here in one of the university houses. What I need to do now is go into Cletus's household and change up his... Oh, why does one of them... They have different last names. I want them all to... I don't know if they would have changed their names. Also, I need to make Julia's oopsie baby she has with her university relationship. Oh, Cletus is right now at Little Critters in Willow Creek. That's fun. Maybe he was just picking up the kids from daycare because children can come there and do their homework. So maybe he was just picking them up over there. There's currently not a lot going on here. Here's a sim dropping off. Oh, that's Zoe Patel. That's her sister because they are living together. It's Monique Patel. She's a new sim, and this is Shayla Patel, Zoe Patel's daughter. And they are living over here in this house. So let's invite Kyle and make this club a little bit bigger. So now we can invite Kyle. So this club is more like an organization in my mind, where people from different expertises like scientists, divers, environmentalists all come together in this community a lot, which was set up to save Sulani's environment. And there are a lot of icons I could use, but I'm still not sure if I want to keep this icon mod for this save, because I find it quite annoying that it takes so long to load. And maybe that's just because I'm currently setting this stuff up, and usually you wouldn't even go into the club settings so often, but for setting up the save file you have to do this quite a lot. Wow, I'm almost through all of them now. Want to find a really nice... Oh, wait, this is kind of nice. This with... But this is actually kind of nice, this as well, but both of them don't resemble Sulani, but I am apparently here in the Sulani area for the icons. They are not completely sorted. Maybe I like this one. It's actually also not resembling Sulani the best because it's from Strangerville, apparently. So perfect would be a mix out of these three. For some reason, I have started to edit Julia Wright and Cletus Harris's house over here in Copperdale now, because I just felt inspired after I made over. Where is she now? Do I need to switch over to live mode again? There she is. The mother of Cletus is still living here. I mean, she usually lived with the family back in Evergreen Harbor. Oh, I just thought I have already been. He would be married to two women, and from me using cheats and mods to don't have to play through it, I thought I messed up something here, but it's just because those two have the kids now, and I need to set Jeb Harris as their son still, apparently, because he's not showing up in the family tree right now, which is unfortunate. And also I'm confused because Faye Harris is also not set as his mother, but his stepmother, so this family tree is not right at the moment. Francine Spencer, this is an outfit from her regular looks. I gave her some cool outfits, so she looks like this, a very nice arts teacher or something. I gave her these sandals with socks because I think that really fit her, and I kind of imagined she would have been an arts teacher. This is Sandy as her cat. I don't know if I want to keep the name. It's not very creative. Sandy apparently had babies, which I don't want to keep. I can give them to some other households. Maybe Jeb would have a cat. One of Cletus's sons, who is a young adult by now. But I think I wanted Jeb to be in university when you start playing my save. So maybe he lives in a regular apartment and not in one of the university housings where pets wouldn't be allowed, obviously. I want them to have a really nice big kitchen, but there is no space for any more cabinets. And also, can we have some more light? That would be very helpful. Is this a good kitchen layout? I can, now that I have more space, I can give them a bigger breakfast table over here in the kitchen somewhere. The cats can eat over here. Maybe let's place these a little bit random, because I don't imagine to be Cletus and his mother to be the most tidy people. But actually, didn't she? Yeah, no, I just imagined she had the neat trait, but she doesn't, which is good. So I want to make this house a little bit messy and lived in, maybe a lot of old stuff and a little bit mismatched, but I imagine Julia, Cletus's new wife, to be kind of neat because she's ambitious and a perfectionist. So I feel like I always have this dynamic in most of my Sims relationships, that there is one slob and one neat Sim living together. Also very cliche, but if you have better ideas, let me know. But somehow I find it gives the Sims a lot of personality to define if they are neat or a little bit more messy. I always have this in mind, and maybe I just like to give them this trait. Let's also have her be a speed cleaner. Why not? Oh, the neat trait. God, I guess I just selected the speed cleaning one now. Neat, here it is. Great. So let's stick to furnishing. That's what I was here for. I made the house a little bit bigger. That's why I need to fix some of the floor plan. Now no, I thought I just messed up the eating place for the cats already, but maybe I'm going to move it over here so the cats have a little bit of this corner for themselves. And oh, unfortunately this broom has to be here as well. I'm sorry. I want to give them L-shaped stairs, but I'm afraid I have to... Oh, or I could use this nook from the chimney, so I don't have to hide this piece. Let's keep the fence for later. Maybe this would work. This way I could also extend this room. And this room would have to be smaller since I sizing up the house, so there's a little bit more space in the hallways up here. And I want to have this part open. So let me grab the fence. Yeah, that's good, I think. This way we have a much more space over here in the hallway, and also the upstairs hallway is wider, which was the most important part here. I think this downstairs bathroom can be smaller so that you have a door into this small hallway, but I actually would like the kitchen to be connected with this directly. I don't know if it's weird to have another door over here, but maybe it's not that weird, because some houses have a lot of little doors. And I could also delete this part so the kitchen is the only thing that's sectioned off. Maybe I like this better. Or what if... No, that would make too much of a hallway area for my liking. I think it gives the house a more older vibe if we will keep a lot of doors and little hallways. So it's maybe better for the isolation of the house. Let's keep it like this. And also I want to put a bunch of stuff in my inventory that I'm not happy with, the swatch or item itself or placement. I don't know, let's just rearrange a bunch of items and see if the room layouts are alright this way. I can make the laundry room smaller. Then I am able to get rid of this weird corner over here. Or I will create a different kind of weird corner so the doors are spaced out nicer. What's going on with this light over here? That's good. This way I would prefer to be the laundry room to be bigger again. And also maybe I have... Oh yeah, I do have some lights hidden in the walls. I think I need to rearrange all the bedrooms, and I'm not sure about this ensuite situation. I would like to have the biggest room. We have the biggest bedroom to have access to it, so it would be this one over here. We need 2 bedrooms for the kids, or we will give the kids a shared room and have an office in addition instead. I think this household would have an office since the parents are both kind of ambitious and very excited about their professions. I think this floor plan actually would work out very well this way. What we also could do is give the grandma a Murphy bed in the office. So it would put a bigger emphasis on her kind of not being very welcomed here, even though Cletus has a very good relationship with his mom, I guess, but maybe he's also getting kind of annoyed by now that she's continuing to live with him and would prefer her to get her own place, or maybe she's also getting very old and should move to a sad retirement home we have over there in Newcrest. I think I would prefer the darker swatch here, maybe in this brown. I want this home to be colorful, but also have a bunch of more simple furnishings. Oh, I have to spread out the laundry baskets. I have quite a lot of them right now. Should we give one of the kids a normal bed and the other one would have a bunk bed? Maybe I will just give them one desk, because most of my Sims tend to make their homeware anywhere, and I would like to have some space in this kid's room for toys and more fun items. I think the stickers on this blue swatch I like the most when it comes to the ones, the Polaroids, but also I really like to think that Francine painted this one. Actually, it would be so fun to make a bedroom for Francine. I think I'm going to ditch my idea with the office Murphy bed situation, and instead I'm going to place a little office area in the living room. Maybe that's what I'm going to do, because I think I want to have Francine have her own room, because I really feel like furnishing it right now. Do I want to keep this rug for the little office area? Why not? Enhances the mismatched style in this living room. But I don't think, well, in this watch, I think this sofa is alright for them, but it doesn't really feel like they would have this kind of sofa style. I was debating, because somehow I feel like these people don't really fit in this house. And maybe this is Julia's childhood house, and that's why there's a bunch of, because yeah, I don't feel like Francine would be this kind of grandma who likes a lot of grandma interior. She's more into this upcycling stuff, and maybe she likes a bunch of these older pieces, but she would like to make them over. And I feel like she's this artistic sim. She's not exactly a painter or something. As I said, I maybe imagine her to be a arts teacher or something, but maybe she really hates a bunch of these furnishings in the way that they are, and maybe she never really made money with her projects because she does them as a hobby, but she never really was able to sell them. So that's also a reason why she's living with her son. And what if this is Julia Wright's childhood home and her parents passed away recently while she has been to university for a long time? And then, because of her other child, which I haven't made yet, because first I need to look up if that would even make sense, because we don't have a bunch of townies in Discover University that came with it. But I thought of her and this other student. I think he's called Fletcher, something. Cameron Fletcher. He's also on the cover art. That's why I imagine him. Does he have a backstory? Because I think I would like it if those two had a child. Maybe I will need to watch the trailer to find out about his backstory and if it would make sense if he was having a child with Julia Wright while they were in university. And maybe that's also why Julia is now living in her parents' house. Yeah, because maybe because she's been a mom and probably a single mom, she didn't have a lot of time to study in time and was taking pretty long. I need to see what Becca Clark is up to in my save because those two were living together. I almost forgot. Okay. So since she's doing a physics degree in Brightchester, I guess that means she's not doing a distinguished degree. That's interesting because she joined the Foxbury Bot Savants, but isn't she at U Bright? Oh, no. Okay. She won a scholarship to Foxbury. So I totally messed that up because I thought Brightchester was the other university, but that's U Bright. Is that correct? Mm, she's in the debate guild and in the secret society, then lost her scholarship and was forced to take out a loan to finish her studies. Okay, that's perfect because she does have a backstory of not having a bunch of money on her hand anyway, so that's good. But didn't one of the Sims, is it Becca Clark who got a baby in the trailer? Or is it a totally different Sim? Wait, is that in the trailer? Is that Morgan? No, what's it called? Is that Angela Pleasant he's woohooing with? Okay, but I mean, he could have been with both of them in university. So I just watched the reveal trailer. I skipped through it, so maybe I'm not as detailed with this as I should. She fell in love and out of love in. Okay, she was up to a bunch of stuff in university, but definitely she's into robotics. Oh, that's why I was so confused. Oh, okay. She moved over to the other university. Maybe she isn't as ambitious as I thought. She lost her scholarships, took out a loan, joined a study group. So apparently the trailer tells us a lot about Julia Wright, and it seems like she is testing out a bunch of stuff in university and is very indecisive about what should happen to her. And there was just a random sim who has a kid in the trailer who has nothing to do with us right now, and it's not her. Okay, she said that in the robotics club she found out that robots are plotting to take over the world. So maybe she's not as much into robotics as I thought. So she has a lot of different interests. Becca Clark, Julia's best friend, she apparently there are different backstories to their friendship and how they first met. And it says in the gameplay trailer that Julia won a scholarship and then they met. And in the reveal trailer, Becca and Julia became friends after Becca lost a debate against another student and went to cry in the bathroom, where Julia consoled her and offered a friendship. So I think I'm going to mix this up and imagine that they did meet in kindergarten, but maybe they didn't remember and then they met in university, and later they are finding out that they did meet in kindergarten before. So yeah, and maybe when Becca lost the debate and cried in the bathroom, what if Julia was crying in the bathroom back then as well because she found out that she was pregnant by Fletcher, was his name, right? The kid from them would maybe be a teenager by now. I know my save file is actually said 10 years after The Sims first came out, but since I'm making relatives for them that didn't exist in the first place, and also some other stuff is completely made up, I will give myself the freedom and not have to make the kid a child now just because Julia and Fletcher, I think I don't even have him in the save file at this point. But I want to give those two a child now. Cameron Fletcher it was. All right, Cameron. So not Fletcher, but Cameron. Is he, what is he up to today? He is supposed to have trouble making friends. Taken under the wing of Jane Armstrong, a gallery exclusive sim who helped him loosen up and make friends. Okay, so maybe we will put Jaden Armstrong. Wait, I do have some gallery sims in my game, and I think Jaden Armstrong is one of them because he is living over here in Oasis Springs with his wife Zuri Armstrong, who is in my game a famous athlete. And those two, yeah, that's interesting. So I do have Jaden in my game, and I can just as well have Cameron be friends with him still, or maybe something else, I don't know. I'm now looking for a place where Fletcher could live, and I thought of the idea that because I have the problem that this house in Copperdale, I can't make it any bigger. So not that I wanted to move Fletcher in here, but maybe I want to have Fletcher live in San Sequoia with that son. I don't know why I think of the child as a son. Julia and her son's relationship is not so good because maybe she was ambitious in university in the end, and I guess ambitious is one of her traits, so she probably was ambitious all the time, just trying out a bunch of stuff. I think they might have a bad relationship because she was very focused on doing the robotic stuff in the end, because somehow I do see her as this engineer in my mind, and I will have to see. I'm kind of sometimes I have so many ideas for The Sims out of nowhere, and then it's hard for me to decide on a storyline I want to stick to. When she had her son, maybe that was when she moved into her parents' house again, and when Kalidas joined the family, so he was not feeling it to live with two siblings and the mother of his new stepdad, so that's when he decided to move out to his dad's house instead, who maybe has his own family. Why am I also clicking on the Grant family here? I downloaded those from the Max's gallery because I am putting some of the Sims 2 families into my save as well. I'm again kind of losing track of what I'm up to, but I have the Broke household over here. So here is Brandy Broke and her dead husband, and Bo Broke is also a teenager in my save now, and that's Tucker Broke, the baby she is pregnant with in The Sims 2. When you play with this household, Brandy Broke is pregnant, and this is now the kid I gave her that comes, yeah, with this family now in my save. Well, let's create the baby between Fletcher and Julia, and I should have actually moved him into the right household a minute ago because I need to create their kid, and also I need to get rid of I forgot his name and it's not showing because this is the NPC that came in one of the past Into the Future events, I think it was called, and he is always showing up in the park in Willow Creek still in the safe, and it's really annoying me. So I should get rid of him soon because he's I don't know if I like him to show up there. Actually, I could also give him a makeover and he's not as prominent and confusing to appear in the safe, and instead he can be this time traveler that is there, but you wouldn't really see that it's this event townie. I need to go into cast real quick. Create the baby. I've now placed Cameron Fletcher and his son Ernest Fletcher down here in San Sequoia, and we'll quickly go into their household and see what this house is looking like. Obviously, I still need to cheat Cameron Fletcher's degree. I'm now setting up some of their skills and information on them, and I have the programming, research and debate, and robotics skill maxed out now for Cameron. I think his logic skill would also be very high. And video gaming is at 6. I think that's fine. I think I'm going to start and just furnish a little bit of their house. I don't feel like going back to Julia Wright's household right now, and I'm kind of invested in their dynamic now, since I really like the makeover I gave them. They are not having a lot of stuff in their house at the moment. But wait, didn't I want to move them into one of the houses that is furnished? So here is some furniture inside, even though there is something for kids in there. I think I am going to move them over because I want to have one starter house in this area, and it wouldn't make sense to furnish this one now when the other one is already a bit furnished and the starter houses in my safe. Wait, let me just put this stuff I placed, because I gave him a research machine already. Let's put it into the inventory because I picked out these few things just now when Oh, he wants to introduce himself to the neighbor's daughter, but we have to move. We won't move far. No worries. Oh, that's unfortunate. Here is nothing in the house, actually, when I loaded in, and apparently I must have moved out someone who was living here. It must have been the Carlsons. Maybe I took the furniture with them when I moved them over to the other house, because they are living over here now. So I have to decide now. So I guess I'm going to furnish their house in this house, just because, as I said, I want the other house to be used as a start house. So I can, I would have to go into an older safe and pick up the lot. I don't know if it's worth it, because I don't believe there was a ton in here. On the other hand, it helps. Yeah, it shouldn't take so long. Or I can have a look and see if... no, I'm going to the main menu, get the house from another safe. Okay, I found the furnished version of the house. Obviously we don't need this nursery anymore, since we only have a teenager in our household. Apart from, we want to have Cameron live with another new baby from someone, but I don't really feel like putting more Sims into this household, because, as I said, I kind of enjoy this single dad situation for them. I'm not really sure on a lot of these items, so first I'm going to, like I always do, put them all into my inventory, but I do feel like I like this dining table here, but maybe I will only put 4 chairs on it. And also I want to make this wall white, this one here, because the kitchen is only over there. Yeah, do I like this layout? Maybe I do want to put this dining table in this direction, because we do have enough room for it. Okay. The walls I will make all white. Cameron is a nerd, and I think he's more into functionality of his home than into decorating it very nicely. So I will keep it fairly simple in terms of decoration, I think. So I also don't think he would have those knitted flowers on his garage door. So maybe we can just find a very simple door. Maybe this one for now. Or maybe this one is actually very ideal for what I had in mind. I also don't know if I want to keep this fence, because I'm not sure if Sims can walk through it. If that's the case, I want to change it, because I really don't like that. Yeah, these fence pieces unfortunately are not recognized by the Sims because they are debug items. Maybe I should just use this simple fence for this house, since there are... Wait. No, actually we don't need to put the highest fence here, because it is kind of a secluded lot that we have, and I thought we were closer to this park area, but I guess that's the case with this lot over here where the starter house is, and this one also has this debug fence, but I hope I will remember to change that. I don't think I want flooring in this backyard. What do the other people here have? Yeah, they don't... I think this neighborhood, for this neighborhood, I really want to see what the neighbors have on their shell buildings, because there are no neighbors. I can only imagine. But it makes sense for this neighborhood to look very similar, I think. What if I got rid of this all? And yeah, the garage door can also be behind. Do I like this better? I think so. I think so. Also, this tree. Now I wonder if Sims can walk through this hedge, because if that's the case, I will have to... Oh no. Fine. Okay. We can use this hedge still. I'm just moving it around. I don't really know where I want to start the garden area. I find this so difficult a lot of times, and I don't know why I find it so hard to... Yeah, because in the end, no one really cares a lot about it, I guess. And you don't really look stuff like this when I'm always putting so much detail everywhere. It kind of annoys me. Just because the process and progress is so slow this way, and now I'm starting to reverse what... Just because I do think that this backyard should be completely sectioned off from the street, and I don't like if Sims will walk here without it having a distinguished walkway, and I also don't feel like putting a lot of landscaping between this part. So yeah, why do I not do it this way, that I can use only a little bit of this concrete stone flooring. I guess Cameron would have his robotics station in the garage, so I want to have easy access to it. I should repaint this stone walkway, or maybe not. Maybe I will instead use just some dirt and bleach grass, so it's more, it is a walkway, but it's not, it's just where I walk a lot because it's convenient. That way this little path developed. I don't know. I do want to have greenery around here though. What kind of plants are in San Sequoia? We do have this fawn. I really like this fawn, so I think we are going to stick with base game, and also what kind of debug plants we got from going together. I like to use this fawn. See, what my problem is does it look weird just having this piece of grass, and I think this part will look fine, but I'm always having problems with the hedges and stuff and fences that I'm always not sure how much space there should be between the walkway and the hedge. Sometimes it can look very strange, not directly lining up with the walkway. See, the neighbors over there have it directly on this side, but then this is open, so I'm really not sure what I should do. In this case, it would look strange if I would do it like this. And also if I kept this open, the Sims will walk in here. But I do like when the hedge is lining up with the public space directly, I think. I think it looks... Do people have hedges directly next to the stairs? I guess it's not too unrealistic. I now sized the hedge back up to its original size. So I guess people will have hedges directly next to the stairs. I don't know. If you have hedges directly lining up like this, please let me know if this is realistic or not. Or if I should change something about it. I'm really thinking too much about it. We got those orange flowers with growing together, and I just placed down some lavender here. So maybe I can use the purple and yellow together. I have some pink flowers over here, so I don't think that's too bad. Although, yeah, and then I can use... What is this flower supposed to be resembling? Okay, let me put down some terrain. Maybe I do want to have more greenery on this part of the house. I believe these flowers look a little bit too overgrown. I feel like this garden would be very easy to manage. Like, they do keep it very tidy, but they wouldn't do... Even though I personally really like the look of a more overgrown garden, I feel like in this neighborhood, most of the people who decide to buy a house here prefer kind of structured garden. I'm not sure about the look of the lavender in here as well. Or maybe it's those ferns. Something looks very off to me. But I always have this problem when it comes... Oh, I just disabled the debug mode, and that's very important for me. So I'm immediately going to turn it back on. I will have to pick out some plants to use in this front yard that are more reflecting the look I was going for. I mean, if I want to continue being inspired by the neighbors, I wouldn't have a lot of plants overall, but I'm not going to do that. I want some nature in here. Let me try to wrap the hedge around and see if that's a good idea. And then I think I will look into other packs and debug items and see if there are other plants that I find for here. What do we think of this very low hedge where people sometimes have the flower beds in their garden surrounded by some kind? I guess that's a thing too, right? I don't know. Not sure about the fence. Or maybe I explained that my problem was more about them walking now without it being a distinguished walkway, but do we need the fence when we have all this? I don't like any of this right now. Maybe I'm going to just leave it like this and come back to it later and see if I like it or not. I think this is kind of too much even also with this, yeah, this hedge situation really confuses me. Now I'm going back to this and wow. Okay, I'm going to leave this right and go back inside and see if I can make a little bit of progress on the interior of this house. Do the Fletchers have a fireplace or do they have a TV in here? I can definitely sell the infant stuff. Okay, I can put the food they made earlier down here. And this is going to be Cameron's office. So he definitely will have an office. Things. I don't know if I told you yet what I had in mind now for his profession and stuff, his job situation. I thought he would have gotten a very good degree in university, and then he was going to work as an engineer because he studied computer science, but he got fired because I don't know if the firm he was working for got bankrupt or whatever the case right now, but I think he will have had some situation with his work which caused him to go on the looks for another job, which wasn't really hard for him, but since he is now also taking care of his son, he didn't really want to go into the business route again and be an engineer. Instead, he decided to become a professor at university. So I haven't put him in this career branch yet, but I find it very fitting if he would just be working in Brightchester now as a professor. So he might have to drive sometimes over there, but maybe he's also doing a lot of online tutoring when he wants to spend more time with his son. I just saw if I will, which makes more sense anyway, have the bathroom go off of this part of the living room where the stairs are as well. I think it makes sense, but also I saw the opportunity to have the sink in the middle of this window, and always when I have this opportunity I will have to use it. And I'm going to place the corner pieces here and remodel the kitchen. Sink can go over there. Extremely happy with this kitchen, even though I do like how it looks like an older kitchen, and I don't think he would have remodeled a lot of stuff the house came with, but I don't know if this red will wait. But maybe in the end, if you don't remodel your kitchen, it doesn't really fit with a lot of the stuff in your house. That's what I've been experiencing in my living situations, because I have never bought a kitchen myself. I don't think I want to use this very stylish fridge here. So I'm going to exchange it for a more simple one. but not the cheapest one. Since Fletcher, why am I always calling him Fletcher and not Cameron? I think I really find the last name very nice to say. It's somehow fun. There are some words that are very satisfying to say. I don't know. This stair railing is really, and I think I'm just going to delete it. Or I can find a smaller one, a bulky. This one is actually kind. I do want to use more of the not super nice looking reddish wood anyway. So do I want to make the stairs even? That's exactly what I was looking for, because it's supposed to look a little bit like a house that was maybe renovated back on 90s, since, as I said, I don't think it would be the most expensive house, and he doesn't really care to that he wants to upgrade a lot of things or like that. So I'm going to make the garage door gray as well. I'm not sure if I want to change the windows to a less... Yeah, I think the white looks very fresh, updated. I like this pattern on the windows. What if we made them blue? Just because, no, when they are all over this house, on every window, I think it's a bit too much with this pattern. But unfortunately, we don't have any windows where there's no pattern at all. So I could balance it out somehow, but also kind of into this color combination, even though it makes it all so much more. Maybe that's the plan. Are these windows gray from the inside as well? I just try to flip them. Yeah, I don't really like how this is looking from the inside, because it makes it so much darker. So I should probably just go with this in-between option where we have the white frame but a brown detailing on the windows. And I should save my game. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm thinking, does the other house that's supposed to be a starter home have... Wait, is this the one I built? Yes. I think I will need to do some stuff about it as well. I don't know why I'm not happy with this right now. I don't know how much I want to lean into this house looking outdated. I just feel like this area has a very strong 90s aesthetic to it. I don't know how to resemble this in my build is my problem. We got this very dark blue with the black, but I feel like that's way too outdated. I don't know, very modern. This is green, a very light green color. Maybe I find that more fitting than the gray, and the garage can stay gray. It doesn't make a huge difference. I find it so hard to build simple houses sometimes, because every little detail can make a huge difference when there's not a lot of detail in general, I guess. I want to put some detail on the roof, but the one that came with the pack is a little bit too big to easily hide it under the roof parts. So I don't want to hide it completely, obviously, but it shouldn't be sticking out a ton, I guess. The cats and dogs corbels are alright. What if I stick out the roof a little bit more? I don't know if this helps. I think this looks so boring. I like how it looks at night though. Interesting. Alright, maybe I should just continue with the inside, because I think that's not too bad what's going on here. I kind of feel like making this look, yeah, I think I really want to lean into this 90s, 80s, 90s, outdated, with lots of wood, and maybe even make the walls beige. Beige walls really help to make this look not too stylish, but still very cozy. I really like this, so I really like to play in this kind of style. Maybe you can actually lean into this red a little bit with, how about the gray? And we could use blue ones. These almost look like Cameron took them with him from university. I don't know. The blue ones don't look too much. They look like some chairs from a diner or, yeah, university cafeteria or something. I think I have used them in some university builds I did so far. So I need to check. It would be a fun backstory why he has these blue chairs. I moved the dining table around again, even though I said that I wanted it to stay in this direction, but well, do I like this rug? I think I do, but I find the blue sofa with it match a little bit too well. Maybe I'm rather going for the beige one. I do think that this household would have a lot of electronical appliances because Cameron is into robotics and also into everything tech stuff, I guess. So maybe I'm going to also fill his garage with a bunch of those things. I can place them nicer later, but maybe it would be cool to have stuff like this in his house, so a lot of things he can work on. I imagine him to be this person who is always working on some project in his house. Maybe he is into a bit more than just robotics, and so I mean he's a computer engineer. His focus is not robots, I guess, but also it's also included in the university subject. I'm thinking about the weather machine, but maybe that's a little bit too far-fetched, although I don't really use it very often, and Cameron is this person who is experimenting with a bunch of things, so what if he does have this? And same thought with things like this eco lifestyle water collector. I think if he is very well versed in all this tech stuff, he would probably also have a very good knowledge of climate change, so he might be interested. Prepping for the worst case. I never know where to place stuff like this. I guess behind the garage is a good place, but it looks so stupid just like this placed in the backyard. So maybe I can find a better place for it later on. And it has to stay like this for now. So why don't we give him this alarm thingy as well? Security stuff. Since he is now supposed to like all kinds of technological things. For an older home, I also like to put radiators. They give a nice detail. Are these too high? A little bit, but the window shouldn't go higher than that. Yeah, I don't want to lift it up because it has this nice detailing outside, so maybe I don't have to place them underneath the window, but that's where they are so often. We can also move it around later if we realize that it does not work in the room where I wanted to place it. Maybe we don't need one here because we have the fireplace. Although in real life you wouldn't want to always use the fireplace. And maybe I won't put the, what is it called again? The thermostat, because maybe that's something he wants to include later in the house. didn't come around to installing stuff like this yet, so we have to make do with some simpler appliances. I think the thermostat should be a lot more expensive. That would be fun. Do we like this there? No, I think I really don't. Really want it to... But also, yeah, this shouldn't look all too nice, so maybe I will put it here. This doesn't have an effect. I was thinking about changing it, but even though I was just talking about him having the best appliances, maybe not the best since it's not all very modernized in the house, but he has this robotic vacuum, and maybe he doesn't have a very fancy TV just because he's maybe more into different technology and he doesn't really watch a lot of TV, but he is into video gaming, so he does like to play games on his PC, but he's not really into watching TV the regular way. So I won't give him a very fancy TV, I guess, and I want to arrange the furniture in the living room a little bit, since, yeah, I don't want this house to look like someone put a lot of thought into it, even though I do right now put kind of a lot of thought into it. I think I'm still going to put some nice decor like these plants. I do think that's fine. He can have some nice things in his house. It doesn't have to look not cozy or anything. It shouldn't follow a certain style or something. He can still have the ability to make it look like a cozy home for him and his son. I do like the idea that he is into technology from all eras, so I think I'm going to place this record player here. Should I put it here or maybe in the living room? I do like to have it here so they can listen to music while they're cooking or something. Ooh, I just found this water generator, so maybe instead of this ugly dew collector, which you have to place outside, maybe he does have, in terms of things like these, a lot of modern electronic stuff. So I do like that idea. I should maybe give him some solar panels. Do we have a place on the roof where we could... Wait, you don't have to... These can break, right? These are just on the roof and you don't have to work on them after you place them. They are just working forever. That's great. So we can put 2 of them here, just symbolically. I just found this high school years tablet. We don't ever use it. Does it have any other functionality than the regular one? I don't know right now what the regular tablet is doing. Is this more for gaming? Maybe Sims can game more with it. Maybe Cameron gifted this to Ernest because he likes to share a bunch of electronics with his son. We can read ebooks with this. Can I choose anything he is reading then? I never used the other tablets, I guess. Well, he wants to watch TV instead. Wow, I didn't know this at all. Now I need to check if this is a specialty for this tablet or if the other one is able to do the same. What if this lablet can do the same with that? I think there's no difference, right? Wow, that's very lame. Maybe Cameron has the regular one. Should I have mismatching wood for the doors and the window? Or should I change the railing wood color? Maybe I can also use different doors, of course. I actually like the idea of using this orangey wood, but maybe if I'm going to change the floor, but maybe the floor should look differently. This looks very bad, but maybe in a good way. Maybe this is what I'm looking for, to have it all a little bit mismatched. And is it possible for me to move around the stairs a little bit? Will this help me in any way? Some parts of this look a little bit squishy. Ooh, maybe this helps. I don't know what, but somehow this flows a little bit better. And also maybe I can place the table this direction now, because I do like it better. I just found that it filled up the space before a little bit nicer, but I do really like this. Yeah, I like this. I want to separate the kitchen, I guess. I think that would make it look even, yeah, I don't know. A lot of closed up rooms help to get the outdated look and make the house feel a little bit cramped. I just made a little bit more space for the bin, and if we need space for something else here, I don't know, maybe this unnecessary. I could look for even a different wallpaper, even though I do find this fits. Yeah, this is too... No, I do think I will keep it this way in the yellow, but I don't need to change up the archways to match with our doors. Is there a color that is very close to this archway is the question. This should actually be good enough. Maybe this one, or I will use, maybe I'll use this door color. Let me see, let me save, because that looked very scary. This way almost nothing matches anymore. Is this too much? I'm not sure. And what's going on with my floor? Oh, if I'm going to... Yeah, this will delete the stairs, so I will have to wrap this around here, which I'm kind of struggling with this floor. Sometimes things do look strange in houses though, so maybe I shouldn't worry about it too much. And it doesn't look bad, it just looks a little bit weird. So how can I not have this part be a diagonal? Because that's another thing I'm not enjoying a lot right now about this floor plan. But if I don't want to have this part open, and if I'm not willing to change up the window, there's not a lot of possibility for me. Another problem is that I always want to have a lot of space in the hallways. But I don't really care about some weirdly shaped bathrooms, so maybe I can live with that if the toilet is squished in this corner over there. And we also need space for laundry. I'm not sure yet where I want to place that. I just realized the whole living room wasn't centered to fix it immediately, because that's not acceptable. I do think this is coming together. I really do like how the living room is looking right now, and I think these two fit in here somehow. I do think this matches. That's good. I do want to put some kind of welcome mat, and maybe I want... What about this one? Maybe he has a very goofy welcome mat for some reason. Maybe we'll make the mailbox white. So it's just, I don't know, he needed a welcome mat and he decided to go for a very fun one. Since we don't have a very fancy TV, maybe they also don't have a fancy console, but they are into playing some older games. And otherwise, Cameron and his son are more into PC gaming, and or maybe Cameron is not into gaming on the PC a lot, but rather these old console games. Because I don't feel like putting another desk in his office right now. And instead, I would... Yeah, maybe I would put a laptop in the dining room just because I think there would be a lot of technology around the whole house. And he is now, yeah, since he is a professor, maybe he only does some minor things on the computer, and his engineering is happening over here. He's not that much of a hacker or something, and he doesn't need the most powerful PC. So what else can we put in the living room? I want to filter by a few packs that I think have items that we can use, which is high school years, growing together, discover university would be nice. Maybe parenthood has the style I'm looking for as well. Yeah. Oh wait, I do think cats and dogs has these nice wooden pieces that could also match in this. This is very good. It's going here, and I think this wood color kind of ties in all the mismatched wood a little bit, so it doesn't look super messy. I find it so annoying how the stairs make this little gap, so I should probably... Now this is clipped. I guess you wouldn't see it during gameplay, but should I place some kind of column over there to hide it? Or does it make it worse? Super dark. Also, no, I will not bother, because when are you going to have all the walls up and look in this corner? Because most time we are all playing like this, and even though I do like to play with my walls up, oh wow, this is bothering me right now so much. I'm trying to explain to myself that it's not so bad, but I really find it super annoying. So instead, what if I will just close this off? What am I trying to do here? Yeah, close this off? No, I'm going to open it up, and maybe I can use it for the vacuum and just have this be placed over here. Can they access it now? Ooh, that's nice. Maybe they cannot get in here, but since it does have a remote, it doesn't really matter, I guess. That's good. I will keep it there. I just told everyone that he is not into gaming on the PC, and now he is playing on the laptop. But okay, maybe he is into gaming of all kinds. Maybe this... I don't know. I don't need to declare every single thing the Sims are into. It's okay if it's kind of random sometimes. Now I'm for some reason trying to give them a goldfish. Why? I also kind of feel like putting a hamster or a rat into Ernest's room. Or maybe in the hallway. I feel like... I don't know. I feel like Ernest would be into science as well as both of his parents. I feel like everyone in this family really likes science. I guess Cameron would be still kind of obsessed with Foxbury, even now that he is aspiring to become a professor, or he's working as one. Let me check and see what the different... Wait, he doesn't have to be... I wanted him to get laid off in his job, so I guess that could be something that is going to show up in his milestones. So let's maybe make his work performance very, very low and hope that it gives us some kind of milestone that feeds into the story I want to give him. So we will see if we can force it to yeah, fire him from his job. And then we will see if we want to set a certain level on his professor career, or if he should be a professor just straight up, or if he should be working towards some goals over there still. Oh, he's mentoring his video gaming. That's so cute. I really like that. Maybe like, oh, back in my days, we didn't play it like this. I will show you how we were playing it on the first SimCube, whatever this is called, Super Dream Cube. Nice. I think it would be cool if he would also work on some of the items in his house to have them very upgraded and stuff. So can you purchase some stuff so that I can, yeah, upgrade parts, so that I can have Cameron upgrade a bunch of objects in the house. Let's just get a bunch because these are used up very quickly. Oh, and now I will have to transfer them all, but that's okay. Oh no, the homework, you can, a lot of these require him to have even higher handiness. Will probably also gain a lot of skill from doing it, so I don't have to cheat it up. Since I decided that Ernest will be into science as well, I think I'm going to put him into an after-school activity. He's definitely going to be in the computer team. Oh, it was also his aspiration to join something, so that's very good that we have checked this off then. And I will see if I can give him some other traits yet. As a teen, it's sometimes harder because I don't want it to seem like they already acquired a bunch of stuff, but maybe he's very successful in his computer club. And I'm going to give him the quick learner trait, but maybe to make it all a little bit more interesting, because he is maybe very naturally good at a lot of stuff in school, but maybe he's also, oh, maybe he's afraid to fail his after school activities because that's very important to him. And he also has the practice makes perfect trait. So maybe he is sometimes very insecure when he's trying new stuff, and also he's maybe not good in all kind of school subjects. I don't know. Oh, I just had an idea. I should just give him this handiness special trait. Ooh, and also he probably would have been very successful at the computer club in high school as well. But isn't there a reward trait from this handiness aspiration where you can instantly, yes, nice. Now he can instantly fix and upgrade an object, which makes it very practical for us. But I think you can't do it a lot of time in a row. We will see. So, did I? No, I haven't checked out the thing I actually wanted to do when I got into live mode, because I wanted to check his job, but instead I decided that I wanted him to get laid off naturally somehow. So maybe we will just skip a few days or something. No, I don't really want to go to prom right now because probably I will see a bunch of teens in weird dresses and start to make over some other random sims, which we are not really playing with right now. I think this is actually a good time to wrap up this episode. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I have so much footage now of just jumping all over the place in my save file. I'm very, very happy if you hear me right now, because that means that you watched all the way to the end or you skipped through it, which is fine as well. Ooh, what is, oh no, oh no, oh no, what is MC Command Center doing? I don't want to have people be adopted. That means that there is some population changing going on in the background. I guess that's a problem for another time. I realize how much I have to talk about about the save file, and it also makes me realize how much stuff I have already built and how many backstories I have created. So I think it's a good idea if I will continue with this. Look how nice this looks. Okay, I will go now. Have a nice day, evening, whatever time it is right now where you are. And I will hope to see you next time. Bye!